After 2,000 years of prayer, of persecution, the Jewish people, we finally come home. This has been the end of one very long journey, but it's not the end of the story. What is the meaning, the significance, the nature of a Jewish state in the land of Israel? One major dimension is what is the relationship in a Jewish country to our non-Jewish minorities? This is the Torah. Dozens of times calls upon us to have compassion, love, in the language of the Torah, ger toshav, to the dwellers of the land, referring to the non-Jews living in the land of Israel. After 2,000 years, we now have an opportunity to learn what it is like to be a majority and how is it to relate to our minorities. Israel is blessed with more than 2 million Arabs, Muslims, Christians, Druze, and I feel it's moving beyond words that all the peoples of Israel, all of minorities, we share this grand story of the Abrahamic tradition. Abraham, who lived in this land, we have this tradition that can bring all of us together. And in many ways, we have created this coexistence. Many don't know it, but in Israel, not only is Hebrew an official language, but so too is Arabic. When you walk the streets, all the signs, official documents, you will see the language of our millions of minorities all over. Furthermore, Israel is a Jewish state, but the government supports the imams, the priests of the other religions. In fact, to my knowledge, Israel is the only non-Muslim country in the world that has government-supported Sharia courts that have state legal status to their decisions. A good friend of mine, Qadi, which means judge, Iyad Zachalka, takes great pride in that his Sharia courts are a continuation of the ancient Ottoman Caliphate, and they're still following the same rules and regulations. Israel also, as a democracy, our parliament is blessed with a tremendous variety of political parties, and this is even within the Arab sector. There isn't just one Arab political party. We have an Arab communist political party, Hadash. We have an Arab Islamist political party, Ram. And we have an Arab nationalist party, Tal. I don't think there's a single country in the world that has both the communists, the Islamists, and the nationalists in the Arab in the same building. But what I take most pride in our minorities is in the medical profession. Throughout the world, a classical Jewish profession are to be a doctor. Jews are overrepresented in most countries in the world as doctors. The one exception is Israel, that Jews are underrepresented because the 20% of Arab Israeli citizens are overrepresented in the medical field. For me, this is very personal because 3 years ago, I had a major brain hemorrhage, and the loving and professional care that I received was both by Jewish doctors and nurses, but also many Arab doctors and nurses. In fact, I was still in the hospital on Tisha B'Av, the day that Jews commemorate the destruction of the ancient temple in Jerusalem. Now, that temple was designed to bring blessing to the world and to be a house of prayer for all people. So lying in intensive care in a hospital on Tisha B'Av, getting blessings in life from this place, and seeing all around me, Jews, Muslims, Christians, all praying together for their loved ones and for the others, I felt this is about as close to a temple as one could get. The world knows that right now, Israel is in a very, very painful, bitter war. War is hell. But nevertheless, we must see what are some opportunities and perhaps silver lining in the hell of war. One of these, I feel for many, many of the Jews and Arabs in Israel, this painful war has brought many of us closer together. Both because we have shared so much in the pain and suffering, many, whether in the massacres on October 7th, the combats, the missile attacks, from Iran, the Hezbollah, from the Hamas, Jews, Muslims together are amid victims, but also in the heroism. Let me share a story that reflects both sides of this partnership in this shared story. In the city of Rahat, Israel's largest Muslim city with more than 80,000 inhabitants, there are two people, Yusuf Aziadna and Yusuf Aziadna, with the same name. The first is one of the greatest heroes of our times, in my opinion. He was a minibus driver that took dozens of kids to the party at Nova on Friday, October 6th. The next day in the morning, he got an urgent call. Please come. We're being shot at. The war had begun, the massacre had begun, and Yusuf went through heavy fire to save those young people that he said he would pick them up. And as he told me, he found most of them, but there was still one young woman that he had taken on Friday that they couldn't find her. Everyone said, let's go, save ourselves while we can. And he said, I'm not leaving anybody behind. And in the field, he found and saved that last woman. And as a Bedouin who knows the desert well, he knew going by the road, this would be a death trap. He navigated through the field. Many cars followed him. Dozens of lives were saved that day. But his cousin, with the very same name, also from that same city of Rahat, Yusuf Aziadna, together with 3 of his children, were kidnapped, taken as hostages by the Hamas. In my synagogue, when we pray for the hostages, we do them alphabetically. And in Hebrew, Aziadna is the first letter of the Hebrew alphabet. So in our prayers, the first in my prayers were the cousin and his 3 children of Yusuf. What joy there was when his daughter and youngest son were released. Sadness was when Yusuf and his older son were found murdered by the Hamas. There's a Jewish prayer in times of crisis, Achenu Beit Yisrael, our brethren, the house of Israel. Through the ages, we would think about our Jewish brothers and sisters, but now in the state of Israel, attacked on so many fronts, when I say the prayer, Achenu Beit Yisrael, my brethren, house of Israel, I think about my Jewish brothers and sisters, but also about my Muslim, Christian, Druze brothers and sisters, hoping for peace and fraternity and blessing for all of us.